Hello everyone, Camelsaurus here, and I'm so happy to tell you that I have just seen Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And I think it's the greatest Jurassic Park sequel ever. Hands down. It is my favorite Jurassic Park film. It is my favorite. It's my favorite. I just really want to go watch it again. I could have watched hours more. It felt like it went by in a flash, and that's good. It means because it was a 2 hour and 10 minute film, and it didn't feel long at all. It felt really fast paced, but not too fast paced. It just felt like a perfect pace the whole film. And honestly, this film is so original compared to many other ones. It it doesn't follow the same trend as many other films do. Of course, it's Jurassic. It's a Jurassic World film. There's gonna be dinosaurs chasing things. There's elements from many other films in this, but it blends them together very well and takes in new concepts to freshen it up. And I think that the advertisement for this film has ruined it. Um, the toys, I think that's ruined a lot of people. People are going to go in here and it's going to ruin some bits because, honestly, the fact they named the Stygimoloch Stiggy, making it seem like it's a main character, is stupid. The Stygimoloch has an amazing scene, a great couple scenes, but it's not a main character. And it's not once called Stiggy. In fact, the name Stygimoloch is only written, it's not even said. So, honestly, the toys, Metriacanthosaurus is hardly in this. The advertisement, Jeff Goldblum, is hardly in this film as Ian Malcolm. Carnotaurus has a couple scenes, but they're not very big scenes. Baryonyx has one scene pretty much, but has some minor cameos in the film. Allosaurus hardly in the film. Sinoceratops hardly in the film. It's really, the advertisement has killed this film quite a bit. Yeah, and I think before going into this film, just pretend you've heard nothing. Pretend you don't even know what toys there are, what dinosaurs have been advertised and stuff like that. Forget everything, okay? I'm telling you, this, for a fan of Jurassic Park, is one of the best, this is my opinion, is the best sequel to Jurassic Park to come out to date. Now, why do I think this? I'm going to get into my spoiler thoughts right now, so if you don't want to see big spoilers, click away. But I'm going to go talking into specific details now. This film mixes the Lost World, obviously, everyone's, but it makes it new and does some new twists on it, For starters, it takes the Lost World concept of saving dinosaurs, but totally twists it on its head. It's not like there's two separate teams. It is one team, and that's a small part of the film. I mean, they're hardly on the island. It's only, I want to say, 45 minutes maybe total. That's not that much, maybe even half an hour. They're not on the island for long. But when they are on the island, there's some great scenes, okay? It's totally new. It's not like trying to escape the island or anything. Really, is the plot. It is trying to get these dinosaurs, away from this exploding volcano and trying to get power to the park, things like that. And there's some twists and turns at that section. Spoiler here, for instance, the hunters, the mercenaries working with them, turn on them. They turn on them totally, and that was kind of given from the trailer, but that's so different from the Lost World. It's two separate teams in Lost World. This one is one. They're working and they come in together working totally, and they turn around. For instance, the main hunter guy, I think his name, oh Jesus, I think his name's Ken. I can't remember, Ken Whitley or something, Wheatley maybe, I think it is Ken Wheatley. Wheatley shoots Owen with a tranquilizer dart and leaves him for dead, and takes Blue. which is awesome. And they shut the security doors on Claire and Franklin and just leave them there for dead. And then the baryonyx comes in, and that was such a cool scene with the baryonyx. The lava's dripping down. That was awesome. The Carnotaurus is the T-Rex's play toy. This entire film is great. There's two scenes. One scene we've seen in the trailer where the T-Rex just smacks the Carnotaurus down, you know, after it gets that. And then there's another scene where the Carnotaurus is coming in, about to eat someone, and the T-Rex smacks that out of the way and just steals the kill for itself. And then they fight over the corpse like the T-Rexes in The Lost World, you know, ripping this with Eddie Carr. It's kind of like that, but the T-Rex just smacks the Carnotaurus out of the way. That was awesome. I genuinely love this film. The scenes in it are amazing. Now this film starts off with Claire as the head of DPG. I think that's a really good term for a character. It seems to work very well. I liked it. I liked everything about it. And Benjamin Lockwood, which is, if you don't know, which is John Hammond's, you know, business partner. They helped create the first things, but they had a fallout because Benjamin Lockwood did something. I'm going to spoil what that is now, so, you know, if you don't want that spoiled, I've already spoiled some things. But it turns out Benjamin Lockwood cloned his dead daughter, and that's obviously quite a moral dilemma. And that is what came in between Lockwood and Hammond. So I think that was quite good. A lot of people, the critics, are butchering this film, and I think they need to stop. I mean, this film, it's a Jurassic World film. I'm not saying a Jurassic Park film, because Jurassic Park is amazing. It makes you think. This film it's just great. This film is great on different levels. It's a blockbuster, and I think it's a great blockbuster. And it still has those levels of, like, it still has moral dilemmas in this film, which I think is great. There's a huge thing on animal rights, and there's many points where everyone's saying, let the dinosaurs die. Let them die here. You know, their time has come. Originally with the volcano, Ian Malcolm saying that. And then at the end of the film, the whole basement of Lockwood Manor is filling up with cyanide. Cyanide gas. And half the remaining dinosaurs on Earth are locked in this basement. They can't escape. And it's up to Claire to push this red button. This button will open the door. The dinosaurs will be free. And she doesn't do it. She doesn't. And, you know, for a second, the dinosaurs are going to die. This is it for them. But Maisie, who's a great character, Maisie's character is really good. One of the best new characters in this film. Maisie presses it because Maisie is the clone. Maisie is the clone. And because, you know, they can't let... It's a thing because Maisie's a clone, just like these dinosaurs are clones. And I think that's why Maisie does it, because, you know, she really... If she has no more of a right to live than these dinosaurs do. They're all clones at the end of the day. So, you know, she lets them go. And they go off into the night, and it's really nice. Owen's he's gonna take Blue, and he's gonna take her somewhere and make sure she lives a nice life. But Blue runs away. I think that was good because, you know, what's he gonna do? He's gonna take a raptor? No. The cage is right there open. He could have done it, but no. They let Blue go away. And that leads to this really cool shot at the end where Blue is at the suburbs. Like, there's houses and Blue's on this hill just looking down, and that's how the movie ends. Now let's move on to my next point. The Indoraptor. The Indoraptor is amazing. Honestly, this is a hybrid done right. It's not got any gimmicky things, kind of, really. Like the Indominus Rex, it can't camouflage. It can't... I can sense thermal radiation, but I don't think it can regulate its own. There's this cool gimmick where, you know, it follows a laser pointer, looks right at, that's the target, and then they press this audio thing, and it just goes chasing. So at the final scene of the film, Claire has the gun. She aims the laser pointer at Owen, and everyone, you're kind of thinking, has she turned? You know, she's making the Indoraptor attack Owen. But actually, Owen dives out the way. The Indoraptor, because they're on top of this greenhouse, the Indoraptor smashes at the glass, and there's the Triceratops skull is at the bottom with the two horns standing out, and it keeps panning down to that. The shots are amazing in this film. You think the Indoraptor's going to fall, and it hauls itself back up, and you're like, oh no, this is it, because, you know, obviously, usually they just kill it there, that's it, end of the film, but you know, it goes past your expectations. And then Blue comes in, pushes the Indoraptor down. You don't know what's going to happen. They're falling midair. You know, each of them, you know, one of them could die, one of them can't. And it lands right on the Indoraptor. The Indoraptor's dead over the Triceratops skull. And Blue's standing on top. I want a statue of that. That is one of the best shots in the entire franchise, hands down. Now, talking more about the Indoraptor. The Indoraptor, the scenes this thing is in are impeccable. They are so cool. They're so suspenseful, you know, you don't know what's going to happen next, really. And it's so smart. It smiled. The Indoraptor smiled. So what happens is, the Indoraptor's in the auction room cage, yeah? And in comes the main mercenary guy. He shoots it with 2 tractors. This is a lot of, you know, a normal, like, Blue went down with just 1. And it goes down. So the guy enters the cage, because this guy, he collects the teeth of dinosaurs. He's making a necklace. There's this horrible scene where he rips out a Stegosaurus tooth from this poor Stegosaurus. This guy's horrible. And he goes in to try and rip the Indoraptor tooth off. You can see the Indoraptor's tail's behind him. And he looks behind and there's nothing there. And the Indoraptor eye opens and it looks at the camera. And you can see its mouth like kind of go like that, kind of smile. The guy turns around, the Indoraptor's back around again. And it's pretending to be sedated. So smart. Done so well. And it's very gory. The Indoraptor rips the guy's arm off. Like, totally, the guy's still alive. You can see it swallow his hand. And then it totally just mauls him. Meanwhile, these snobby guys are trying to escape into the elevator behind it. The Indoraptor sees him. Comes out of the cage. Runs up. You're thinking, oh, this is it. They're dead. Nope. The elevator shuts. You're like, oh, they're safe. That really, you know, once again, went past my expectations. But the Indoraptor's smart. The Indoraptor smacks the panel before the elevator can go up. The door opens and the Indoraptor runs in and just kills them all. That was so good. Toby Jones's character is really good. He's an auctioneer guy, and it's an awesome scene where Claire and Owen have been locked in the containing thing with the dinosaurs because, you know, they're supposed to be dead. They left them for dead on the island. They've snuck back in. So that was really cool. And the Stygimoloch's next door. And Owen keeps whistling. Every time he whistles, the Stygimoloch smacks the wall. He's trying to get the Stygimoloch through the wall, and then he makes it smack down the door inside their cell. So what happens is next that during that scene, every time the Stygimoloch hits the wall, the guy upstairs is hitting the gavel, and he's like, sold 10 million, 20 million for the dinosaurs. And I loved that scene. I thought it was really, really good. Yeah. And then what they do is Owen leads the Stygimoloch to the elevator, sends it up to the room with all these. There's like there's probably over 100 really millionaires in this room, and he sends the Stygimoloch in, and it starts ramming all these millionaires, just smacking them about the place. It's gory. It's not gory, but it's brutal. It's a brutal scene, and I love it. It's so good. The best herbivore scene in all of Jurassic Park. I was saying at the start, the Stygimoloch doesn't deserve to be a character. Stiggy shouldn't have been an official name. Should have been a fan name, like Rexy started off as. But if any, Stiggy does deserve to be a character, but I don't think it deserved that much advertisement as a character. But I must say, Stiggy is one of my favourite animals in the entire franchise. It's so funny. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Dr. Wu is in this film again, and he gets screwed over because at the auction, the Indoraptor they have is a prototype, because it doesn't have Blue's DNA, which would make it more obedient, follow orders more. This one is wild, and it's only a display, and so they're like, this is a display, it's not for sale. And then the crowd's like, 20 million. I'll pay 20 million for it right now. And then the guy's like, no, it's not for sale. And then another guy's like, 25 million, 25. And they're like, we can make a lot of money off this prototype. So they start selling the Indoraptor, which wasn't supposed to be for sale. It's really dangerous. And Dr. Wu is getting really mad. Like, he is so angry. He's getting screwed over here. So yeah, amazing film. I love this film. I don't care what the reviewers say. I don't care. They're saying this film sucks. They're saying, some people are saying it's the worst Jurassic Park film. How can they say that? If you're a fan of Jurassic Park, you will enjoy this film. Okay? People are criticizing it like it's up for a, you know, like an Oscar or something, you know? So, stop. It's a Jurassic Park film. You know, people are expecting too much. They're expecting this to be extremely different, and it is. And people still complain. They're saying it's the same thing as The Lost World, and I am appalled by that. I think the critics are so biased to this film. I think it's all because of The Last Jedi. I think because now they really are just going in on these blockbuster films because The Last Jedi was so bad, you know? And I think Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's taking some of the fall off that, much as Solo was, you know? But for me, as a fan, and you guys saw, I made a video why I thought this film was going to be bad. I came into this with low expectations. I was like, I'm excited to see the film, but I think it's going to be crap. And it's my favorite film, period. There is no film in the world that I liked, that I've enjoyed as much as this one. Alright, rant over about that. My favorite scene was well, it wasn't my favorite scene, but one of my favorite scenes was the opening scene. This is the most memorable opening scene. It's up there with the Velociraptor attack in the first one. You know, Jurassic Park's known for its many memorable scenes. Jurassic World, no, not a memorable opening scene. And Jurassic Park 3... What was Jurassic... No, that wasn't memorable either. That's just the parachute thing. That was crap. Lost World had a good scene, opening scene. Jurassic Park had a good opening scene. And that's it. This has one of the best opening scenes. So what happens is, you know, they're going in. There's a submarine. They're opening the gates to the Mosasaur paddock. And they think it's been so long, you know, you think everything's dead. And they're going in there to retrieve the Indominus Rex bone. So they can, the bones of the Indominus Rex, so they can make the Indoraptor, you know. And they go in. They, you know, think everything's dead. It's been years. They go down, and there it is, the Indominus Rex skull, whole body. They saw off a bit of the rib cage, attach it to a little float, goes up to the top. But as it's going up to the top, lightning strikes, and you can see the silhouette of the Mosasaur like above it. It's so cool. And then, you know, it cuts back down to the submarine. They have to get out now. The door's wide open. You know, they need to shut it in case anything's still in there. And you can see. So the lights are on. The submarine lights are really bright. And you can see the Mosasaur's teeth right behind the submarine. And then it cuts to a shot above. And the lights from the submarine that was there, pitch black. Nothing. Meanwhile, so they're dead. Meanwhile, there's this guy on the shore. He's hacked into the security system. He's opened the gate. He's lost communication. The guys on the helicopter are like, come on, we gotta go, you know. And you hear so there's thunder, and you can hear the T-Rex. And because the guy's got headphones on, it's raining so bad, he can't hear anything. The guys in the helicopter see the T-Rex in the flashes, like, come on, get on, we gotta go. He thinks he's talking about those guys, and the guy's running for his life. The helicopter's taking off. This guy's running for his life. The T-Rex is Rexy is chasing him. And they drop a ladder down as they're going. The guy barely makes it on. And as he's climbing up, the T-Rex, Rexy, grabs the end of the ladder and starts pulling the helicopter. So the guys are going to cut the ladder off. They're like, we gotta go. This is going to take us all down. And the poor guy's like on the ladders. The T-Rex is here, guys here, helicopters here on the ladder. And the Rexy eventually bites the bottom end off, and they start going. And they're like, yes, we survived, boys! And the Mosasaur jumps up and eats the guy off the ladder. Falls in. And the T-Rex, Rexy actually stomped on the security system thing. So the doors were open. And you just see the Mosasaur going out into the open waters. My favourite, the best opening scene, hands down. I don't care what anyone says. The best opening scene of a Jurassic Park film since the first one. And that is one of the reasons I think this is the best sequel from Jurassic Park ever. Now, this is my first reactions, and I will make a full review hopefully one day. This might be the only video I make talking about it, so I do want to cover everything, you know. But yeah. Okay, no, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. The most emotional scene in all of Jurassic Park. This actually, I was almost crying in the cinema how sad this was. The island is getting totally covered in, you know, lava, volcanic ash everywhere. They're sailing off in the boat. All the dinosaurs that aren't on this boat, screwed. And at the end of the dock is a Brachiosaurus, and it's looking out. And you can see lava totally coming around it. It's so sad. The music's really sad. And the Brachiosaurus is just calling out. And then smoke engulfs it. And you can see through the lava the Brachiosaurus is standing on its back legs, just like it did in Jurassic Park. And then, you know, the light stops, and you know that Brachiosaurus is dead. And it's really, really sad, actually. And I think that's another, that's the scene that's it's really stuck with me from this film. That is probably, I'd say that's the best cinematic scene in this film. It's just, it's very touching. And it's really well shot, and it really does make you feel, you know, this is the end of Isla Nublar. We know from lore Site B is dead. This is it. The dinosaurs are on the homeland now. So yeah, all I want to say is go watch this film, and don't listen to what critics say, because actually I came out after this film so happy about it. You've seen it now. Talking about it now has made me even more happy. But I read reviews, and it actually made me sad. It made me sad how negative this film is getting. It's got 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I think that's terrible. Genuinely. So go support this film. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, you will love this film. So go watch it. And thank you all for watching this video. Until next time, Camelsaurus, signing out.